Blaine Fowler now joins us on Zoom from his casa. Blaine, welcome to the program. Always disappointing to talk about a loss to Utah, but here we are. We enjoyed the football win. And now in overtime, BYU loses 73-72. In your opinion, what happened on the Hill on Saturday night?
It's been a consistent theme on the road this year is BYU they just don't shoot the ball on the road. They're just not the same team on the road shooting the basketball that they are at home. And they got on their heels at times against Utah. We're also seeing against teams that are really aggressive downhill with the basketball. And BYU's learning this new defense. I keep waiting for the light bulb to come on and for them to be just nails in this defense. But when you're just a little bit late to the gaps or you're a little bit late on rotations, you foul. And, I will say that it seemed in overtime didn't seem like it was a balanced foul calling. But when you look at it in the course of the game, you have to take into account that Utah was playing more aggressively. They were playing more downhill. They were attacking the rim more. They're going to get to the free throw line more. And BYU's got to figure out how to guard better without fouling. And I think that comes down to better understanding where they're supposed to be, anticipating, getting quicker to their gaps, getting quicker on the rotations when they've got to help so that their feet are in position to play defense and they don't have to reach and they don't come late to try to block a shot and end up fouling. I mean, that's been a big problem. And it seems like that consistently has not been as good on the road. So to me, it's all about the road. Now you go up to Utah. It's a rivalry game. That's not lost on anybody. They're playing with pressure. And frankly, the veteran guys have to show up and they have to shoot the basketball and they have to calm this team down and they have to communicate. And some of those elements were missing in that game.
All right, Blaine. So how fixable are the issues that are plaguing BYU right now? And if you believe they are fixable, how quickly are they fixable?
It's one of those things where they should be fairly fixable in fairly rapid fashion, if that makes sense. Because to me, a lot of it is mental stuff. A lot of it is confidence. Their confidence issues. I see, especially the young players on the road. They seem to be rushing shots, not taking their time. And there's a difference between playing fast and playing in a hurry. And at times they feel like, especially on the road, especially the young guys, that they're playing in a hurry. They're rushing shots. They're trying to get them off too quick. Oh, this is my shot. I got to get it out there. Instead of just going through the same motions they do in practice, taking their time, making the extra pass, and getting a good shot. So calming down, that's something that's a mindset. And it's hard to know. Sometimes the light bulb just comes in one game. Like Jaeger may come out of his shooting slump in one game. There may be a game where all of a sudden he just takes a deep breath and starts to knock down a few shots. He sees a few go through the bucket, and then it's over. Then the slump is over. On the defensive side, I think that's about confidence. They need to just trust each other, and they need to more confidently, instead of thinking, they need to say, hey, okay, this is the game. I just am going to react. So I know this is where I'm supposed to be. When I see the defender come off the ball screen, this is where I'm supposed to be. I'm going to get in that gap. When that guy puts the ball on the floor, I'm going to get to that gap. I'm going to rotate right now, and I'm going to trust it. It's like a mindset, and to me, it's almost like the light bulb can go on overnight at times if they could play with a little more confidence. And I think they play with a bit of a lack of confidence on the road. And when you're talking about mental things, it's hard to predict when they overcome it. You know, it's hard to say, hey, it's going to be this next game on the road against Colorado. But I do think there are things that they can talk about. And I think collectively these guys need to make a decision that we're just going to play with confidence. And we're going to play fast, but not in a hurry. And we might make a few mistakes, but we're going to play mentally at a faster pace and trust what we're doing, and we'll live with the mistakes.
Tomorrow night at Colorado for BYU, big game. Colorado 0-6 in league, BYU 2-4. Certainly BYU needs a win there. Ken Palm saying this is going to be a 2-point game. I mean, that's wild. I never would have thought that'd be the case. But certainly tomorrow against Colorado, you hope BYU gets things right, like you said. And even if they do, Blaine, they still have to kind of keep it going, right? Because Tuesday we felt like, hey, stop the 3-game losing streak. You beat Oklahoma State. You weathered a storm in the game. That's all great. But then at Utah happened. So what do you need to see this week at Colorado and home versus a good Cincinnati team to feel like, okay, BYU's heading in the right direction?
Yeah, no, I want to see better defensive rotations and more stops without fouling. But I want to see guys shoot the ball with confidence and take their time. There are times, especially when we're on the road, where I feel like it's just. I look at their faces and it almost seems like it's painful on their faces, like they're not having a good time because they're starting to press a little bit at certain times in games, right? And most importantly, I want to see him finish a game because it very well could be a close game at Colorado. BYU's been in a bunch of these close games, and sometimes I feel like you've got to win one of those or a couple of those, especially win one on the road, where you feel like, oh, yeah, we can win these things, and this is the combination of what needs to happen. They also kind of have to find and make a decision who's going to be the guy going down the stretch with a ball in his hands that is either going to make the shot or make the right decision. Now, going into the season, I thought it would be Dallin Hall. And then Dallin had the injury that cost him a bunch of camp in the beginning of the season. And then when he came back, I thought, oh, it can still be Dallin Hall. Richie Saunders has emerged as kind of the guy that goes out and makes plays and wants to have the ball in his hands in a big time. But up at Utah, he went 6 of 16, so it was a struggle shooting the ball for him. Still produced double-digit points and 7 boards. So it's kind of become Richie Saunders, but it can't just always be Richie Saunders because guys will try to shut him down. So I would really like to see Dallin Hall step up in this game on the road, be more aggressive, attack the paint, get 2 feet in the paint, distribute, finish, shoot confidently, and kind of take the pressure off of these young guys. I've always felt like it could be him. I think he has the talent. I think he has the physicality to do it. And so I'm looking for Dallin to step it up and turn a corner in this Colorado game. And if he steps it up and turns the corner, and he can be an equal contributor with Richie on that guard line with a ball in his hands, I will feel much better about the rest of the season if we can see him do that.
How much more confident do you feel in BYU's ability to be able to jump right back into this quickly simply because they play in the Big 12 now and there will be ample opportunities to pick up some big wins along the way?
That's the beauty of this league. I mean, we all know that. Like you can have a slump and lose 4 or 5 and come back and go on a little run and immediately right back in the conversation. If you get to 500 in this league, you're a single digit seed. Mm-hmm. Like, think about that. In the WCC, we used to just sit there biting our nails at the end of the season going, oh my word, if they finish in 3rd place, there's 0 chance for them to get in the league, right? Or get into the tournament. And some years when St. Mary's and the Zags were really good, you felt like maybe as the 3rd place team you could get in. In this league, 500 is a single digit seed. And so you don't even have to get back to 500. You could be a game or 2 below 500. And so there's still hope. And that's why there's so much to still play for. And they've been in games all year long. I mean, we haven't been watching a series of blowouts here. They have had chances down the stretch to win multiple of these games. They have to figure out how to play with composure. They have to figure out who are our alpha dogs, plural, not just one, that are going to carry us down the stretch and make all the right decisions. Are we going to make free throws down the stretch and win a couple of these close ones? And then everything changes. Everything immediately changes because in this league, it does not take much to climb right back in it and be talking about the NCAA tournament again.
That's certainly the hope, which brings us to this. We were talking about expectations. Have they changed for this team through the first 6 games in conference play for you?
Well, I kind of, for me, they've changed a little bit. To me, like I thought they should go win that Utah game. They're just slightly below what I expected because everybody just thought, hey, Yegor Demoncan and Catchings come in here. We're going to be phenomenal with the core of guys they have coming back. But we've covered this league, you guys, all through last year. We know how good the league is. And we all know that when talent meets experience, which a bunch of these teams have, that's when you compete for championships. And young guys are great with great talent, but it takes some time. It gives me hope that down the stretch, the light bulb goes on for Yegor, that Cannon figures out his role and calms down with his shot. That Dallin reemerges as a guy that's going to be consistent every single night, and that they can be really, really good down the stretch. So they're only a game and maybe 2 games below my expectations at this point. So they haven't terribly fallen off. Now, I expect them to go beat Colorado on the road. I expect them to win that game, and I expect them to come back and beat Cincinnati. If they lose these 2, that's when my expectations might change a little bit. So I still hold out hope. They're probably a game, maybe 2 games behind where I thought they'd be at this point, because I knew that they were young guys, and I knew that even the veteran guys, just like Jay Hill's defense in year 1 on football, and with all the transfers in football on the offensive side, 7 starters that were transferred. So new faces and a brand new defense. 2 years ago, football wins 5 games. Basically the same core of guys come back the next year, and they know what they're doing, and they have this phenomenal season. That's why I was more realistic with my goal for this team. So they're slightly behind, but you guys know, we all know that in this league, you can get going on a little bit of a roll, and you're right back in the conversation about the NCAA tournament. And to me, just to make the NCAA tournament this year with new faces and a brand new staff and a brand new offense and a brand new defense, to make the NCAA tournament for me was all I was hoping for.
All right, Blaine, you brought up football, so let's wrap things up with a football question. Both Jerem and I answered this in the last segment, so we're not going to tell you what we said unless you saw the segment and then you already know.
No, I did. I was trying to figure out technology.
Why are you watching, Blaine? That hurts our feelings. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Technology was killing me. It was killing me.
Okay, where do you expect BYU football to land in the final AP poll tomorrow? We'll see if you're on the same page with Jerem and I.
I'll tell you where I expect them to be, and I'll tell you where I think they should be.
Okay.
I expect them to be around 12.
12. That's it. That's what we said.
That's what we said.
You said 12?
We both said 12.
Yeah.
But where do I think they should be? I think they should be at number 10.
That'd be awesome.
So,
I don't think it's going to happen, but that'd be great.
They got a lot of respect with that win against Colorado from folks all over the country, and I think that gets them up to 12. I think with what they've got coming back and some surprise people coming back that we didn't know were coming back, and a couple of transfers to Phil Holt. I mean, this team, I was just doing it last week. I went through and looked at every single position group. This team is loaded. So now you were asking about expectations. I have really high expectations for next year's football team. Really high.
Should we do that, though? Because it feels like when we do that, we get burned. So I don't know. That's a discussion for another day.
Well, we'll have it another day, but I think they should be 10. My guess is 12.
Okay. He's on the record. Blaine, we appreciate the time as always.
Thanks, Blaine.
All right, guys. Talk to you later.
Thanks for watching the opening segment, too. Just kidding. That would be great.